Hey Reggie, what was your favorite part of today's episode?
My favorite part of the episode was Dylan saying a word that she thought was one word, but it was actually something else.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good. Tim?
My favorite part was just coming to terms with like some emotions about the subject we were talking about. Even Mary and me both felt like we were going to cry at some points, and that was special.
I didn't know you were going to cry.
My favorite part was breaking the fifth wall and calling Will diva.
That was a highlight for me too.
Yeah, you guys had some really interesting conversations today, but I think my favorite part was teaching you guys some gay slang.
Thank you. And
being called
I
diva.
turned for validation. And I think my favorite part was after the episode where I said I wanted to cry a couple of times and everybody was like, I wish you had. And now I'm gonna cry thinking about it. It was really good. Stop.
That felt good. That was the clack of clack.
Yeah. This third time really feels like it's gonna be the
This is the fourth time.
Fourth.
Don't tell me that, Dylan.
Sorry.
It was
Sorry.
fourth.
Sorry.
We almost started without Dylan today because there's torrential rain in Western North Carolina and we weren't sure she was gonna make it.
We're
But-
so glad she did make it.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I went through the trenches to get here today.
And we're
worth it.
very
Literally.
thankful. Yeah. Also, we haven't talked about it, but like our windows didn't leak. That's
Oh, I didn't notice
I
that.
was-
Moses came in over the weekend to do a test to make sure.
Did he
He
really?
did say, I think he said there were minor leaks on these two, I think. But he said
but not so bad.
they're gonna
relative.
still address it.
We're on
Yeah.
high ground. We won't
Anyway.
flood again.
So our windows aren't leaking. You may have noticed something else is new on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, this actually was an old shirt.
You
Had
look
it for a
good.
while. Thanks.
Before we get too carried away, I should probably say welcome to Age the Podcast. I'm Mary Green, and I'm joined by my colleagues Tim Scroggs, Reggie Tidwell, and Dylan Garcia. And as you've probably gathered, we are here in our studio, such as it is, that's getting improved every day. I'm also very excited that the packing blanket moved from here to here so we can see Will off
sounding
camera.
board.
That's
Feels
true. Hi,
like
Will.
A
Hey,
big
Will.
day for me. Yeah.
The packet blanking is our soundproof because I'm sure people are like, packing blanket.
Oh yeah.
It's our sound dampening.
Don't know what.
Could be like Linus. You know, he has his blanket with
Oh
him.
yeah, that's our security blanket.
It's our blanket.
It is in a way.
That's hilarious.
So we on this podcast we talk about a range of topics. We put a bunch of topics in a trash can, and we're gonna pull one out today and see what comes out. I think this is my first time actually reaching in to grab the topic.
See how your
Feels
pull-out
good, right?
game
There's like
is.
some magic to it.
Like a lottery.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh-oh.
so excited for today. Okay, I'm gonna go show
For
it.
those that don't know, we see these topics for the first time right now,
Hang on, I also want to.
and we haven't seen them. You
I
are
don't know when
seeing
it focuses, so I'm just gonna.
It focuses.
Oh, you
pretty
do it.
quick.
You do it so naturally every time.
Okay.
Now show it to us.
Today's topic is obesity.
Oh man,
GLP-1s are on the rise, ladies and gentlemen.
that's a heavy one.
Oh my.
Where to begin?
That was a joke.
That's not like a joke.
Oh, I didn't even
Reggie.
hear what you
Not a
said.
good
I
joke.
said that's a heavy one.
I was in my own head, man. You got to bring me back out. Yeah, obesity is so touchy. I feel like.
Super touchy.
It can be, yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm probably. I haven't looked up my BMI recently because you don't need to know. But I'm probably technically obese, like by the
I'm
measurement.
The
obese.
old standards.
Yeah. By your
Yeah,
height
my
and weight.
BMI is like 27.
Yeah, we're just so
So,
yoked.
And that's,
so is this word even outdated?
Oh, obesity? I don't know.
I think it's
I don't
so
think
in
the
right
word
now.
is
It's so
outdated.
It's like true though with this.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I
It's
open
so
my
hot
phone,
right now.
it's like I'm getting pushed Ozempic, GLP-1, peptides.
Yeah, GLP-1 and
Yeah.
Ozempic. That's like, there's a whole face named after Ozempic because
yeah.
apparently it does something to your,
Just you lose volume, I
Yeah.
guess. Here.
I was just talking to someone just like last week, and they were on it for a
I can't go
year
there.
and got off of it and gained 30 pounds in 1 month.
Wow.
I've heard this as well. I was living with a med student when it kind of like came into our headspace.
Gained a
and
toddler.
She, what?
gained a toddler.
Oh,
30
yeah,
pounds.
that's big.
That's
a
a lot of
medium-sized
weight.
dog.
That's a lot of weight.
She was saying to us at that time, she was like, well, it will work to lose weight, but then to manage that weight, you either need to make dramatic lifestyle change. Which
Or
is,
you have to stay on it. For
yeah.
The rest of it,
And like,
Think of
if
that
you're
business
able,
model.
Dude, they make you need
Just
it.
money like crazy.
Well, it's everything else. It's like, you've talked about this before, like we're addicted. And but if you were gonna make the lifestyle change anyway, then
you
I
mean
feel
pair
like
it together?
a lot of people, I think the lifestyle change is the biggest struggle. And for some people, I think if they could make a lifestyle change,
They
they
would have
would
done
see
it
more
before.
positive outcomes. I don't know that it always leads to losing weight, but I do think there are healthier habits that we could all integrate. But then there's the whole genetic debate, which I love to hear about because it kind of makes me feel absolved from some of my choices around my weight.
What first comes to my mind is not to say anything, because I have never been obese, and so I don't know that I can even speak to the experience of being called that in this world, having to endure that as a child.
Oh yeah.
In the families, I am very close to people that have larger bodies, and it's miserable.
I don't know. I'm looking around and I don't imagine any of you were chubby kids. I was a chubby kid.
You were. I've seen your pictures.
I was thinking of
You were the
pictures.
cutest little chubby kid.
I know. I was gonna say
Yeah.
it was fitting.
I love her, but I had to put my shoulders down. I just realized I clammed up, and I am clammed up. I'm gonna be sweating by the end of this.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
Yeah, and it's even the idea of technically, I feel like that label applies to me. It has all this connotation that I don't identify with, but I'm even afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it feels like I don't feel like I have the same stigma, like the way that my body is shaped and the height that I am kind of gives me some permissibility almost versus people who are more obviously obese. And so it almost feels like I'm enough on the fringe that I shouldn't even talk about it. I'm seeing a lot of people online talk about them as mid-sized bodies instead of obese or not obese. There's this in between where you don't
Mid-sized bodies.
I thought that was a dad
feel
bod.
fat. Yeah, it kind of, I guess. But there's also not genetically predisposed to be have more meat on your bones.
That's the
kind
thing,
of
yeah.
thing. So, but I don't know. It's
Big boned too.
Yeah.
I
And
used
this-
to hear that term all the
Right, and it goes into labels, which we talked about.
Yeah.
You know, that there is one standard that everyone needs to be measured at. And that's when those BMI tests and the things you used to take in elementary school back in the old days
Oh yeah.
was all about trying to make everyone the same stats, you know?
Yeah.
Like you have to
Yeah.
be this, this, and this.
There's
but
a
across
bar, and
culture,
everyone needed to be close to the bar.
right, like in cultures around the world, there are people of all different sizes.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna I think this is another episode where I'm let me tee some things up for people to talk about. But I think there's also, so I wanna talk about genetics, and I wanna talk about how the word obesity has come to be a shameful thing or a social cultural idea.
Right.
But I want to believe that the beginning of it was about helping people live longer and be healthier. So I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater and say this word is pure evil and wrong, because I do think having a name for it allowed us to identify what are the behaviors that maybe are exacerbating issues that you have.
Right.
Like if you're carrying a lot of weight for whatever reason, that's more difficulty on your joints.
Absolutely.
And pressure on your heart and all these other things. So there's tangible connection to it. And I think that's why probably a lot of people who identify or don't identify, as the case may be, with obesity, there's a lot of shame around it because it is tied to health outcomes. You do feel like a less healthy person.
But the thing that drives me crazy about this whole thought is that the entire fat-free movement that started in the 90s, early
yeah,
90s,
where
maybe
everything
late
was
80s.
Which
Free.
didn't even make sense.
It
in
did.
No,
hindsight.
it worked from a marketing standpoint.
Oh, yeah,
they made
absolutely. People
tons
bought
of
the
money,
hell out of the
and now
fat-free
wellness
stuff.
movements are making the similar amount of waves in the world about being well and being fit and being strong and protein, all these things that the capitalistic engine jumps onto. But when the fat-free movement started, sugar-free sodas like Diet Coke and fat-free milk,
Fat-free cookies.
fat-free cookies.
Yeah.
People jumped on it And later, a lot of the evidence was proven wrong
Yeah,
because the body needs fat
you
to
have to have
actually
fat.
think
Yeah.
and to process, and to actually lose weight. There's a certain amount of fat you need. So a lot
Absolutely.
of people are struggling from the side effects
You need
of
good
eating
fat.
fat-free, of not having enough fat.
Right.
I think we talked about this on an episode that we haven't released, and maybe we'll get ballsy and just release it one day. I don't know. But talking about ultra processed foods and how like fat free is one of the things that just pushed us further into corporations like meddling with what's in stuff.
Yeah.
And now Ozempic is taking the same approach that fat-free diets and that all the other things, they're just feeding on the insecurities of people. And I'm so angry that that's the way capitalism has chosen to market, has to run the market based on people's insecurities. Yeah. Like, you're not good enough, you need this. Like, you watch any amazing singer at a normal size, over time will get smaller in the public eye.
Right.
Either they're very unhappy and not eating, or there's a pressure to be small.
Yeah.
There absolutely is a pressure.
Well, or like is it Serena Williams who did the GLP-1?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was a Super Bowl, I
How's
think.
that playing out?
Not good. I mean, as someone who did the whole sports world thing and everything like that, there's always like this stigmatism that like smaller is better, especially as a woman.
Yeah.
You never want to like become muscular. You never want to look manly because that's also a different stigmatism on top of it. But she did that deal. It was during the Super Bowl. The Dove soap commercial just came out with all the girls saying that like 73% of women quit sports because of like something said about their body.
Yeah.
And then it
Right
cuts,
after it.
That's real.
cuts to Serena Williams
even put that
injecting
together.
herself with a GLP shot. And like Serena Williams is like one of the most iconic female athletes.
Yeah. And
Built,
she's super fit.
can whack a tennis ball probably. Like, and it's just, it's really hard.
And she had a strong body.
She has a
strong
very
body.
strong body, but now she's in retirement.
She's crushing it.
Things are starting to move slower. Menopause is coming in. Like things are
So the
happening.
pressure
So
is
she's
still
trying
on
to
her.
stay ahead of what bodily changes she might have, I
isn't
guess,
this so
by
wild?
supplementing.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I cut you
No,
off.
no, that's all I was saying.
Yeah, but it made me think, isn't it so strange? Here's 4 people with no real investment in Serena Williams' life sitting here talking about her body.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Right.
her body. Like, she
Yeah,
can
I know.
put whatever she wants
Yeah.
in it. Like, isn't
I
that
know, right?
wild that I feel like that's like a topic to bring up
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah.
Like,
No, it is. Like, we were talking
Hey, there's
so
a
freely
panel of
about
people
it.
talking about your body this morning, Serena. How do you feel about that?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit sad.
Not that it's
It
like
is
off
sad.
limits, but that we think our opinion, that we get to have an opinion. Oh, hot take incoming.
Okay, yeah, so podcasts are only good and people click on them if everyone is in disagreement, right?
Yeah,
It's too
controversy.
nice here right now.
Controversy.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into because I was an arrogant asshole when I was younger. And people didn't like me because of this.
No way.
Yeah.
What gave that away? What gave that away?
You feel that energy? Yeah, Will. What is this? All right, so I guess it's not such shocking news. Maybe I have some work to do. A lot of work to do.
Such a joke.
Okay.
We love you
Really?
too.
Maybe I'll just speak of my own experience. Okay, so
Sorry, I was a fat
I
kid.
agree.
Like, you gotta just let me know. Go ahead. Sorry.
I grew up in the fat-free movement, so it was okay to call people fat.
Oh yeah.
It was okay to call people gay. It was okay to do a lot of things that I would never do now. Not call people gay, like that's fine now, but to use it as a derogatory statement like that is gay. Like
Yeah.
that
Right,
was
right.
okay when I was a kid.
Right.
Wrong. All the way down.
I was going to say, technically it was
okay.
never okay.
But
We
when I
were
was-
just okay doing it, saying it.
I'm so sorry.
Come on, you arrogant asshole.
I really
guess-
put you off. I'm so
no,
sorry.
it's fine. We need to be off. We need to come into some like this authenticity of who we are.
Agreed.
You're right. You're welcome.
Yes.
So I have been struggling probably from my younger mind and my younger body with myself getting. I would call myself fatter than I normally am in sections you can't see. So not so much here, not so much here, and here, just kind of here.
And
Not
really
so much
here.
here.
No fat.
No.
Just
So, and this is
We work
stupid.
out.
This is stupid because people who actually have suffered under the social anxieties of this topic or the social hate of of people of this.
Yeah.
This is hard to say. Anyway.
Yeah.
They look at
I'm
me
really
like
excited.
they look at me like I'm an idiot because I am not. There's nothing that I can experience in that relates.
See,
And
I feel similarly though. Like there's a line that you cross where like, actually, do I get permission to feel bad about my body, or do I just need to suck it up and
Right.
move on because other people feel worse about their bodies?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so I've noticed it's harder to. Now it's better because Reggie and I work out. So this is something that really built
If
our
you couldn't
relationship.
tell.
Tim over there,
This has
we
come
work
up a
out.
strange number
I
of
don't
times.
work out with Dylan over here.
No, but the thing is,
Tim
I
over there.
I started noticing it was harder for me to like get my shoes on. To bend over was harder than it used to be. This is stupid, right? But it was real. No,
Bend over.
leaning over like this
Yeah.
and putting my shoes on was hard, and I started
There's
noticing.
too much in the way.
And I started, because I had more in the way than I used to when I was younger. Because I grew up a very skinny kid my whole life.
Now I'm concerned.
So I noticed it, and I noticed that my parents had gotten bigger over time.
Yeah.
And
That's a scary moment.
Right.
You're like,
Yeah,
is this a
'cause you
picture
see
of
the
my
future.
future?
yes,
Yeah.
and so I got worried that the 40s are when things start to go downhill.
I feel that way about the 30s, baby.
Oh, just wait until you're 40. So and
I have no luck. I have no future.
tiny though, Dylan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not a good or bad thing. It's like it's just
I know
what
you are what you are.
I mean, I was just
your
in a
risk is
party.
lower.
I was in a party 2 days ago, and someone says, "You're so beautiful," and someone else said, "Does that even matter, though?" And I was like,
They said this to you?
No, they said it to my daughter.
Oh, okay.
They said, "You're so beautiful."
Notice
and,
how he left that part out when he first said it. So
and
it's
I
hard.
tell her that all the time, but I think there's an expectation set that you always have to be beautiful.
Oh, definitely.
It wasn't like
As a
you're
young girl
beautiful,
also.
deeply
Yeah.
beautiful. It was like you put your makeup on, you did your hair, you got your dressed up, you're so beautiful. And then someone looked at her and says, "But does that even matter?"
Yeah, it's funny.
And I
when
was like,
people
"Does it
say
even
that-
matter?"
When people say that to my kids, like especially my girl kids, they're like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." I was saying, she's really smart too. Like just because I don't want
dude,
my
have
kid
you
because
heard-
she's receiving that compliment. I also want her to know that life isn't just about beauty. Like,
But have
I
you heard
want
the
her to
thing
know
about
that-
being smart?
What?
You tell your kids they're smart, it can take away their ability to have a growth mindset.
Really?
Yeah, because the pressure
Interesting.
to be smart.
Interesting.
Like,
but
they
they
think that
are
that's-
smart already.
I know, but that's hard to communicate. That's why they say now in child rearing, is it not what it's called anymore? That's like an
Yeah.
old school.
Rearing.
Rear my child.
Are you rearing children?
They say instead of "you did so
you
good"
wouldn't believe it.
or
I
"you're so
should.
smart," you did it. You did it. What happened?
She got up and did something. I thought she was about to
You
leave.
trying to get- you
I was
trying to get comfy
what,
cozy
what
over
did
there?
you
Yeah.
say now, that arrogant asshole?
Have y'all heard about like when you wear baggy jeans, you get like a genus? And it like
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And
Genus.
so I stood up to like
To fix your
get comfortable. Yeah. In public, by the way.
Stop
I'm
talking.
glad.
And then
I'm glad
Reggie's
you-
like, "Are you gonna leave?" And I was like, "I think I should."
Maybe it's time. Yeah,
You
but
showed
there's
your genus on our podcast? That's
bold.
ballsy of you.
Anyway, it's like it's hard to talk now these days.
'Cause
Like
we
I don't
always
know
crack
what to
jokes?
tell my children.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can tell them they're beautiful or if they can tell them they're smart
Yeah.
or tell them they're good at sports. Like,
See,
can I say anything to them except
that's
just
the
say,
thing, though.
"Hi, I am Dad.
I feel like
You are son.
Hi, Dad. I'm
You
hungry.
are daughter."
I feel like all these studies just do that. They make us insecure to be able to speak. Now, I feel like it has more to do with your intention. Like if you are, like obviously I'm not trying to limit my kid's growth mindset by saying, "But she's also smart." I think there's something in the delivery and the intention of things that are being said. And that I think is what matters most, because if we start policing ourselves so much, and I don't mean in a PC way, but like just in a well-intentioned delivery of something that you're saying, and you're like, "Oh, should I have said that?" Man, how awful of a life is that? I just feel like that makes it really challenging to have normal and authentic conversations.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one thing, I think that I suffer from this, the thing that you're describing where it's like, oh, I don't feel like I'm allowed to say, or
Right.
it's not allowed. It's not like there's somebody taking away my permission, but out of my love
You're
and
policing
care for
yourself.
other people, I don't want to harm someone with my words.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And weirdly, this gets worse the closer to my family it gets. When you'd think it would go the other way, I just mean to say that, like, it gets in the way of intimacy. It gets in the way of like being fully with someone because I'm afraid of being misunderstood or misinterpreted.
Exactly. Like you can't say, you feel like you're walking on eggshells.
Yeah, and to feel that within your own like family dynamic at home is really hard.
Yeah.
I'd almost rather say the thing with well-intention, and then if someone finds it offending, then talk about it. Like walk it back and and be in that moment where we can say what our intentions were, and also be apologetic if it was received in the way that you didn't intend.
Here's the thing though, if you're 10 years old and your dad's treating you or saying a certain thing to you, you're not thinking about like what that means.
Right.
And so then you get into your
And you may not
late
even voice
20s,
it.
early 30s, and you're in therapy, and suddenly you're like, actually, that bothered me, and that was not okay.
Right.
But I wasn't able, for whatever reason or whatever, to voice that. And so now you've got all this like resentment maybe that you have to work through. But I agree with you that like all you can do is the best intentioned thing, and then try your best to keep connection.
Yeah.
That to me is like the moment's gonna come.
Yeah.
Somebody's kid is gonna yell at them about something when they're in their 30s or something.
Absolutely.
But I think like there is no controlling it. There is no perfect scenario. So this comes back to like the ruthless authenticity thing. It's like all you can do is be the best you can be, hope it works out for people.
Right.
But I am afraid when you start to get further away from my family, I think that the stakes are actually kind of low with my family, because like actually if I pissed them off, I do think we'd find a way to get over it.
Right, there's an understanding, there's a foundation of forgiveness and acceptance and love.
It might take us some time. We're not very practiced at it, but I think we would
But
get
isn't
there.
that a deeper thing to bring up about the connection that we have as humans?
Yeah.
And I've noticed this in my family, that people are stronger in their opinion about things they're not connected to. So if you have a friend, I brought up being gay in my family, growing up Christian, that was wrong. But we had a gay guy come into our youth group. We were calling everything gay. And he told us, guys, I am gay, and that really hurts my feelings.
Which, by
Good
the
for
way,
him.
Which was
That's awesome.
like-
in our church youth group at church. So it was like this
That's, like,
revolutionary
radical.
moment for me.
Yeah.
And suddenly my mind as a 15-year-old or 16-year-old, I was like, my mind's open, it's blown. And I was like, this is insane. And I felt it was very like an awareness happened in my whole being.
Good on him for calling it out though.
Right. And
where
so,
is
but
he now?
I know,
He
right?
probably is
I
like
would say
running
his
the
name-
world.
he's-
Yeah,
somewhere.
right?
He knows who he is.
He's
If
a
he sees this, he'll
spokesperson.
know who he is. But he opened my eyes, and what I began to see is that to love a person, to be connected to a person, connects you to the subject matter more than the subject. So we study subjects like how to train your children, but you're not connected to my children.
Yeah.
You know, I know you have your ideas about like what this may do and that may do, and you've done all your studies, but we're also uniquely connected, like little universes in each other's orbits. And so when that was said to me, I saw even my dad would say things intensely in a vacuum, but then I'd see him with someone who he was saying these things about. He would never say something directly about someone particularly, but about a group, a label or a category of people. And then I'd see him with someone in that group, and like completely compassionate and loving.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is where we're missing it. Because the more disconnected we become to anyone who's being called obese, or what obesity means, when we talk about it between us, none of us are obese, it's like we're not connected to it.
You tell that to my smart scale. He's not obese.
I mean, my wife, she got a scale, and she's like, yeah, buy a scale, put it on the floor. And all of a sudden she was like, wait a minute, do I want our kids to be seeing us weighing ourselves?
Yeah.
Is that something they need to see or be worried about or think that that's something that's important?
That even matters, right?
And so we hid it in our closet.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Take our own weight
It's
in the
wild. Well, I want to just like, as a maybe hopeful thing, and this leads to the topic that I've been trying to bring up, which is genetics. But I think that I read a study one time. Sorry, I did read a study. I don't think that I read a study when I was in school, and it talked about how civil rights for queer people have progressed so much more quickly than civil rights for Black people, or even necessarily women, or some of these other groups. And part of it was this connection thing that you were talking about, how, you know, if you're not from a family of Black people, or if you don't marry into a Black family, you might not ever interact with that community, but anybody's son can be gay. Anybody's daughter can end up a lesbian,
Across the demographics.
And it's not, I mean, insofar as we can tell, a genetic thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this could sort of be anybody, and it could look like somebody
Across
that you already,
religions,
yeah.
too?
It's like
Man.
it's unrelated. It's this.
So there are people, right.
So that's what helped it progress at the rate that it did. Now, that's not to say that it didn't have.
Because people would have
barriers
loved
in its
ones
way.
and they would understand.
Yeah. And they
That
fought
totally
tooth
makes
and
sense.
nail. Like, I want to go on record and be like, Stonewall was badass. But I'm just saying that's an interesting thing to me that because everybody could know somebody, it made it easier to relate. And I wonder about obesity because it does run in families. And there is a theory, and I don't know if maybe it's been proven by now, about epigenetics and about historic ancestral trauma and famine and like the ways that our biology has been trained over generations to behave. I don't know, maybe it's like if you're from an obese family, you have less judgment about that, but if you're from a really thin athletic family, you do. So I wonder if that concept works against us there as well.
I wonder.
I don't know.
That's a beautiful point
That's an
to bring
interesting
up
point,
because that love, I mean, that understanding that comes from, like, if I
'Cause it's
hadn't married
universal.
into my wife's family, I would probably be speaking so much trash right now about this subject.
Really?
Right?
Really?
It's yes, it has brought me, because my wife's sister is a body positive person, and she has let me in on her experience, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even her experience with her family. It's
Yeah.
not just in the world. It's literally like we're all
Close
brainwashed.
to
We don't
home,
even
yeah.
understand the influence that's been on us.
Yeah.
That we judge people by their outer appearance, by their body.
Yeah.
And just in our industry too alone, like especially in marketing, like good heavens, the way they push all the thin bodies and all
Yeah.
there's a whole, I do know, having a daughter that is a model, that and being close to that industry just through her experiences, that there has been a shift in narrative, like the what they call it,
This is really good podcasting.
it's like
I do
Don't
it
you love
too.
it?
yeah, it's
Like-
You can get it, you can get it.
chic. It's a
Something
drug.
cheek.
No, chic.
Heroin chic.
What was it?
Heroin
chic. Heroin chic.
You're
where
so
they're
diva.
like really thin and overly. That's it.
Diva.
Yeah, like that is like kind of frowned upon now. Like they seem to be moving away from what could be seen, deemed as unhealthy the other way, like overly thin, too thin, not,
That's an interesting topic, though. Have you ever heard of the thing about skinny girls
no.
getting made fun of?
I stay hearing
No.
about skinny girls.
Yeah,
No,
what is the
They get made fun of in the same way that big girls
obese?
get made
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
of.
yeah.
And there was this whole thing about bullying.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, you see, I also remember hearing stories about that. Like my mom was a skinny kid growing up, and she got made fun of in the 70s, I guess. And then when I was growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, nobody got made fun of for being stick thin.
Oh right, because
That was
Not at
when
all, because that was
low
because
rise
they
diesel-
shifted. It
was
shifted,
emaciated
and there was
almost.
like they were putting it in your face. Like you look at, in Milan or New York Fashion Week, everybody coming down the runway was like incredibly thin.
Yeah.
And like I grew up watching seasons upon seasons of America's Next Top Model.
Yeah,
Same.
Same.
Tyra Banks.
Yeah.
So it was-
Tyra Banks.
Yeah, one of my friends was on there actually. She's an Ashevillean,
Really?
and she was very thin but very fit. That was just that whole
And
industry.
Is it weird that the topic wasn't obesity in women, but we're only talking about women?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to shift actually.
this
One of the
could be
things
an
I was going to
interesting-
bring up was that there are other communities in other countries that don't seem to have the same body makeup that we have in America. What do you guys think about that? Do you think
like
that
Samoan or
in general
Alaskan
per capita in America that bodies are bigger? Or do you think this is a global
Like
makeup?
America has an obesity problem.
Yeah,
is
like
what you
that's been the narrative that
Yeah.
like you go to Japan
it's a big
and
narrative.
in Japan like they don't have as many big, chunky,
Oh, I'm about to
people.
go, baby.
Oh, I was.
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna
are
be
about
really
to go.
fun.
You're gonna go, and I went, and literally while we were traveling in Europe,
Yeah.
Megan, my wife, lost weight the whole time. And as soon as we got back in America, she started gaining weight again.
I think
the
it's the
food's better.
food. The
How
food
crazy is that?
So much better out there. Like,
And no changes except food.
You know, it's funny.
I mean, some walk. There was like
Oh,
less
but there's a lot
walking.
more. Walking makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
I'll
walking.
be
Here's a
Big deal.
theory. Having been gluten-free since 2012, I'm well versed on the subject. One of the things
She's
I
celebrating
know
for you.
is that in Europe, they only live in 6% of the gluten protein that we do, which means they don't have as much
Right.
gluten. And I've heard of people that have gluten sensitivities going to other countries, going to Europe and eating pastries and breads and pastas and not having a reaction to it. And gluten, I know when I was doing
Glutinous?
gluten, yeah, when I was gluten,
I'm doing gluten
When I was
every
a-
day,
I was
baby.
when I was a glutinous individual,
Go ahead, Reggie.
I was bigger. As a matter of fact, there's a photo of me where I modeled for WNC magazine. We had this whole like.
I was
out-
so fat, and they called me into modeling for
had this-
WNC
No, I'm
magazine.
dead serious. We
the
had this
thing.
outdoor
We're not
apparel.
qualified to talk about
We had
this.
an outdoor apparel shoot that we did. And I was about 217 during that shoot, and my face is all jowly and big. Like you wouldn't recognize
No, but
me in the photo.
How old were you then?
I was maybe mid-30s.
Yeah, youth face that's what they're trying to do now with the cheeks. Youth
I think it
face
was-
is bigger than older face.
Possibly, but here's
Very delicately put.
but here's what I will tell you is that same year was when I actually, or within a few months, I quit gluten, and the jowliness went away and never came back.
It was like a drug.
It
So-
never came back because gluten is a natural
Is that what
inflammatory.
G stands for in GLP?
Gluten
Maybe.
is a natural inflammatory.
The gluttony.
The gluttony.
Gluttony. Oh.
But gluten is a natural inflammatory, and I think it doesn't just inflame like joints, it
Right.
inflames tissue. And so your tissue, everything is just more swollen. You know somebody that eats a ton of like pastas and breads and stuff like that, they have typically this sort of doughy.
I'm-
I don't know. That's a
I don't
general
think that's
statement you
true.
can make.
Look.
I don't think so.
I don't
Are you going
think
to do a
that's
doughy
real.
look study?
There's
I had
so
a doughy
many.
look. 'cause I
There's
was
so
eating
many
pasta.
like
Doughboy.
svelte Italian.
He eats pasta.
It's pasta.
There's so many like toned, thin, beautiful. I'm gonna just say Italian women and men.
That eat. That's true. They eat
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
gluten.
man.
So I think there probably is something around
They're
like.
probably importing their shit from Italy,
You know,
and
it's
they're
probably
getting
true.
the really good stuff.
But
'Cause
I
they're
think
like,
you're right. There's like a histamine response thing that happens in the body, and I think it affects different people differently.
Oh, absolutely.
Too.
I 100% agree with you
Yeah.
there.
I would say I like what you brought up, that it was you were feeling inflamed.
Yeah.
So I think that it's not that you wanted to be less jowly.
I did want to be less
I mean,
jowly.
but why? I
I'm
mean,
vain, look at me.
this is the topic, and I think this
Funny
is very relevant to our industry because of branding. I don't know why I said it that way. Branding.
Branding.
Brand is assumed a surface thing
Yeah.
in typical markets and in our market. It's becoming a deeper thing, and it needs to be a deeper thing. I think it's the only way it works. But the outside appearance is so important to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so jowliness meant something to you. It made you feel less valuable. It shouldn't have, but if your body doesn't feel good, if your body is feeling inflamed, if your knees are feeling inflamed, if things aren't working right, then that is another topic than obesity.
Oh, yeah, no, for
Because
sure.
that's something that everyone wants to feel good.
Well, that's
right.
more-
No one
yeah.
wants to suffer
That's
and
a
be in
comfort
pain.
thing.
and-
Yeah, you don't want to be
Right.
in pain. You don't want to have inflamed, achy joints.
Right. So so a little bit of, and this is, I hope no one takes this as me being able to relate to what it is to be obese, but I have noticed in working out, I have not been able to change what's changing about me in my 40s. So it gives me a sense
Your
of,
metabolism slowed down.
it gives me a sense of what it feels like to be out of control with how your body is behaving or how your body is shaped. Or how your body is changing. So this happens in women too when they go through menopause and puberty and different things. And it happens to men, but I'm just saying that when you get into a situation where
yeah, you were the one that
you
couldn't
want to change
tie your
things,
shoes.
you are I'm working out, I'm trying to watch all the things,
Yeah.
but nothing's changing. There's a certain level of hopelessness that comes in,
Oh yeah.
you know, because that is important to be this look and this look like you
I
have it
think
under
we do
control.
chase what we think we should look like. And I think as we get older, it's why people actually start working out more as they get older, because they're like, oh shit, I don't look like I used to. I need to get back there.
Yeah.
There's this fleeting feeling of like, oh my gosh, if I don't
losing
get in
youth.
control of it now, I'm gonna become this person that doesn't look the way I want them to look.
It's so tricky though, because I think you're right. You said earlier, if your knees are inflamed, that's a different topic than obesity.
Right.
And yet, there are things, like we mentioned earlier in the episode, that are linked to obesity. So there are these like negative health consequences. Never mind, there is this social thing that happens to you where you're like, well, this is my body. They're telling me that I ought to hate this body because other people hate this body. And now you start to feel distant from it and out of control of it. So it really creates this like, the word that's coming to mind is psychosis, which I probably isn't right most of the time, but this like cognitive dissonance that you live with every single day. And like, I'm not saying this as someone who feels, I actually am in better shape than I've been in the last 5 years because thank you. COVID really like sedentary lifestyle, really bad. Why I quit my job. But I think that even we talk about my fashion, I'm looking at Dylan because I really seek her counsel on fashion.
She's our fashion queen.
Yeah, it's like the clothes that you wear, the clothes that you feel like you can buy, the confidence you feel about whether or not those clothes are going to fit you in 6 months, and do you want to make the investment now?
Right.
Do these clothes look bad on me because I'm fat, or because I'm too tall, or because I'm too short? Or do I need to get them tailored, or am I just going to be imperfect forever?
Is it flattering?
Yeah.
That's
But it is,
flattering.
I think that there is a reality. I want to talk about it like all fluffy and, oh yeah, it's this thing that we all should be forgiving about, and it should be, but it is tied to negative health things.
Can
so
be,
like, it needs
absolutely.
to be managed.
I'm gonna say this because I don't know this for sure, but I will
you
say
probably
that my
shouldn't say it.
sister-in-law would tell you, and I would love for her to speak on this because she's done the
Should have
studies
her on the podcast.
in body positive movement. They have done studies that disprove the studies we think are true about obesity.
Right. It's
and
not
it's
In terms of not
universally
being
true.
healthy.
yeah, in terms of it not being healthy, in terms of it affecting your joints, in terms of affecting your health. I mean, your heart and stuff.
I
They
would love
have
to hear
tried to
that
link. You know
feedback.
why they link these things is so that their movements, their capitalistic money grab, can work.
Yeah,
If you put people in a state of anxiety over their death, you will move them to action.
I mean,
they
we're
have
watching
done
this happen in climate movements.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of doom and gloom about
Right.
climate.
Oh yeah. a lot of doing
And so
that.
there is, we think, and this happens across science. Like when I were growing up in school, we studied a different science than what is being revealed now, and it
God,
disproves things we learned as law, scientific law.
Isn't that weird how, and there's no like startup course to like get you up to speed.
Right.
What sixth
Oh, I know,
graders
right?
are
But there's
doing
also
now.
nobody saying, we're going to learn science. Now, this is a growing, emerging, evolving field. We're going to tell you what we know right now. This may not be true.
Yeah,
totally.
you're gonna have to keep your thumb on the pulse of this.
At some time,
Keep
you're
up
going to
with it.
learn that electrons will just disappear and reappear on the other side.
Yeah.
In quantum mechanics, in the quantum field.
Quantum physics.
Yeah, quantum physics. So the things we learned about being obese,
Yeah.
even the word obese and what is considered obese, that's not the facts.
Yeah.
No, I could totally see that. I know people that would be that would consider themselves big, larger people. They're totally healthy.
They move.
Like
they move great.
They're
They
fit.
live well.
They work out all the time.
Yeah.
And this is their body. Like this
Right.
is how they show
That's
up
their
in
shape.
the world.
I'm gonna throw another thing. Here's another one to bat around as someone who identifies. In my family, I link obesity to there's a genetic component. Like I just don't think we're small people, and I'm actually kind of proud of that part. Like I'm cool to be from a family of giants.
Larger than life.
Like it's bad. I mean, like my mom's 5'10".
That's
You
true.
know, like
Period.
the odds of me being
5'10",
tiny
yeah.
were not
Above
high.
average.
100%.
Yeah, and there are plenty of like beautiful people that we see as contemporarily like gorgeous people, like models who are tall and big
Yeah.
and like have a shape. But I think that where it starts to become unhealthy, like I'm just trying to establish the divide between does obese mean unhealthy? And I agree that the answer is no. But I do think there is some sort of correlation between people who are obese and people who are on some level mentally not doing super well. And I attribute some of that to addiction, and I attribute that addiction genetically, like going back. So things like alcoholism or binge eating, or like any like
Emotional eating.
coping, a coping mechanism that has to do with sedentary behavior or consuming food.
And
I
stress. A lot of people stress eat just because they.
My legs the same way.
Wow.
What's going on?
Wish
We're
I'd
in
worn
sync.
nicer shoes today.
We're
It
in
was
sync.
raining.
All our legs are the same way.
A lot of people actually do stress eat because it's
Oh my
like
God.
comforting. And
You tried to
it's-
feed me a dog treat and I almost ate it.
Gotta tell that story.
That was so. I didn't like put it to my
Just
mouth, but I
willfully
pulled it
reached
out.
into the bag and was like, wait a second.
Reggie is a snack dealer. He's like, everywhere he goes, he's like, here's a little snack. He'll
Trying
sneak
to
you a Reese's
fatten
cup.
everybody up.
Yeah, but
No, I'm just trying to keep them healthy because I do think
you
that
just like
food-
people to feel happy.
Yes, food is happiness, and I think that's another thing. I think there's a whole other side to it.
But when you-
where people, I know people
Food is
who are
nourishment.
chefs, and they are larger people,
Right.
and they are healthy, and they're cooking food, and they couldn't be happier. At least on the outside, like that's what they're projecting.
I'm gonna say one more thing, and I want Dylan to
Oh,
pitch in here.
Prepare
Dylan's getting
yourself.
called in.
I want to hear how you feel about obesity in your
Okay.
young experience. One thing I'm going to say before you start
Okay.
is on the subject of eating, the thing that is most present in body positive is intuitive eating. When the body knows what to eat.
Yeah.
And so we've come from a culture where you're trying to restrict yourself at every
Right.
point,
Right.
and it creates a scarcity feeling,
Yeah.
and it causes a kind of a
emotional-
mental, emotional
yeah.
distortion around eating.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to eat that, you're not supposed to eat that. You got to eat limited amount of this. You can't touch that. No eating after this time. All these
Totally.
rules
Yeah.
that their body can't
Portion
intuitively
control,
eat anymore.
all the things. Yeah.
And it needs things. The body needs sugar, fat, all the things that we're talking about that have been demonized in our world
Yeah.
have been in our lives for humankind for all of time. So I think there is like an emotional, mental distortion that's happened that's causing some unhealthy experiences within the body.
Well, never mind. You might have come in predisposed with it, like baked in, hardwired,
Right.
and then culture like exacerbates it.
I'm going out
and
of
it
sync
gets
here,
worse.
guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Here,
Now I
I'll
want to
come
hear
with you.
Dylan because I
Yeah.
really am interested in your.
I've been listening in on like what you guys have said, and I'm like, I'm trying to cultivate my own thoughts, but like I feel like my friends, my young people are on the other end of the emblem. Like we're all recovering from like our eating disorders that were placed on us through sports and through college.
It's like by trying to push away from obesity,
Yeah.
it took a whole different.
Yeah, so like we've been like on the other side of it, and especially like I think the school did a study, like 87% of the girls on my team like identified with an eating disorder, and like our coach didn't even realize it. We didn't even realize it. We were all just kind of like,
This is what everybody else is doing.
That's
And-
Normal.
wow. That's
yeah, so it was like we're kind of on this other side of the emblem of it, and especially just like with athletics and like moving and stuff. It's been really interesting to like come out of this. Like me and my friends were actually on the phone about it last week. We were all talking, and we're like, our bodies are changing. We don't look the same as what we did in college, and we're like all trying to mentally like keep each other accountable about like honing into that. It's like when you like deprive your body for so long, and you talk about like the negative repercussions. When you guys were talking about like the joints linking to obesity, there's like an other side of the emblem where it's like you lose your period,
Yeah.
nutrient stops going to the bones,
Right.
like all that other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really hard for me to be like, yeah, I don't really know what to say other than like there has been like a very shift. And I know in a lot of my friend groups, there's been a big shift to the other side of the emblem. I know one of my friends is getting married, and she went to her doctor, and her doctor basically did scribe her Ozempic, and she's the same size as me for her wedding.
What?
And so it's like, it's on the other side of an emblem of like, there is like the scarcity of like, do not get too big. But then it's like, what, for me, and like what I hope for like my generation is like, there's both sides to emblem. Like what is the
What
most,
are you saying? There's both sides to pendulum.
Pendulum.
Oh, like it
Pendulum.
swings, but sorry. You were just saying it, I was like, I think I know what this is.
Yeah.
And then the third time you said it, I was like, I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah,
following.
I think for me, it's just like there is an extreme. It's either obesity or it's anorexia, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's like, how can we not get in the middle and be like,
Yeah.
I'm going to hone into how my body is going to change. I am going to be healthy
Embrace
about
whatever
it.
that is.
Yeah, I remember looking in the mirror the other day and like I had noticed that like, I'm going to be honest, I've been trying to gain weight to like be healthier than where I was.
If you want help with that, I'm happy to be involved.
And so it wasn't like in like,
I got you too.
Yeah.
but there was also like a guilt and shame of like telling my parents that.
That you're trying
Of
to
like,
gain weight.
I was trying to gain weight, I was trying to like have a normal cycle, I was trying to like get out of this kind of
Yeah.
whatever, and they took it to the extreme.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, no, you can't be doing that. So what really like hurt my feelings is that like, there's even, and like my parents know that we talked about it, but there's even like this opinion that like my parents are like, no, you need to stay like this because this is how you are. This is you in your 20s. And I was even like starting to get ashamed of like, I could like notice like I was like, oh, underneath my neck or whatever. And then I looked at my mom and my mom had the same genetics as like stuff like that. And it's like, instead of like wanting to get rid of it, I had to start viewing like some parts of my body as like, oh, that's my mom's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my dad's or
I
whatever.
could cry about that.
But like, I think what I'm really trying to say for like my generation is like, there is two extremes, finding the middle that still works for you. I feel like there's so many people trying to tell everyone what to do that it's hard for you to even like decide.
Yeah.
Like I'm making this decision for me because I personally think it's okay. But then I'm going and telling my parents are like, no.
Right.
Like that's like a downward hill spiral. Like, what are you doing? And like, that's crazy to me that like my parents had that fear for myself. But then I see it like, as we're all talking, it's all been a fear for all of us. And it's like this outside judge perception. But if you feel healthy and you're happy working out, I'm not going to tell you to stop working out.
Right.
I'm not going to shame you for like when we're all having lunch. If you're happy and healthy, that's a great decision for you.
That sounds like my takeaway is you're saying is that people need to find their happy balance.
Yeah.
So that they can basically be themselves. I think so many people, to what you were saying earlier too, is like we are constantly trying to shift because we're being told you can't eat this, you can't do this, you can't do that. And that puts a lot of pressure on people all the time. Like you go out to a restaurant, you're like looking at the menu and you get sad because you're like, well, I'm not supposed to have those things.
Yeah.
But if you find, to Dylan's point, what works for you, regardless, like nobody should have any kind of opinion that holds weight in your life about your eating, your body, or any of that. I love your parents, but I still think like if you were like, I want to gain weight, they should be like, yeah,
I
if
think-
that's what you want to do it.
I think they were more genuinely scared of like the negative repercussions that I would have faced.
Right.
But imagine if you said, I
to-
want to lose weight, what would the pushback have been?
My parents would have cried because during my running career, they were telling me, they're like, you were not healthy.
Okay.
Yeah, not too.
So they're like, they're
It's
trying to
like-
straddle the two
they're
things.
Yeah.
straddling the thing.
So it's like maybe they have their own fear about
Right.
what happens when you get older.
They're
I
using
think
their own
so.
balance and happy medium for you, for themselves,
Right.
and you have your own.
And I love my parents. Like, do not get me wrong.
I love your parents.
Oh, they're great. They're great people. I learned a lot from them. But like the same thing, like you were saying, is like we keep being told all this stuff. Unless the government is coming to my door and telling me, hey, you are being in this study. This is what is fit best for you. I don't know if I can listen to it anymore. And that sounds like such a cheesy, like bullshit answer.
No.
But it's like how I'm trying to frame my brain
That's
of just
fair.
like, if they're not coming to my door, personally taking my blood or checking out who I am, I don't know if I should listen to it.
Yeah.
And the reality is, like, there is a study for everything. Almost in the same breath, you could read a study that says carbs are bad for you, and then you can literally go find another study that says carbs are good for you. And
Exactly.
there's this constant back and
That's
forth.
why I think it comes back to what Mary was saying, when there's connection to people
Yeah,
and their experience, because a lot of times people will say they're happy,
yeah.
like, I'm not eating food. And I'm
People
happy.
say that all the time. Fill in the
are
blank.
you a
Like it's
breatharian?
it's what someone would say when they're at a.
You go through phases of not eating real food.
Yeah.
You do a liquid,
What-
a master
Yeah.
cleanse.
Do the master
So I'm
cleanse
just
once
saying,
a
like,
year.
you can see someone not eating. Like,
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I'm happy. But unless you're really close to that person, can you tell whether that's
Can you
true
really
or
know?
not?
Are
Like,
they
can
letting you
relate?
into the answer? Yeah,
Right, because
exactly.
we should all be able to do what we want, you know? If it doesn't hurt someone else.
Yes, as long as it doesn't
if you
hurt
want to gain
someone
weight
else.
or if you want to lose weight, you should be able to do it and not be judged by someone like, ooh, no, you're bad. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But it does get into a weird place when we're influenced by such strong forces,
And-
such like outside, and I'm going to bring this to our culture, to our industry,
Yeah.
marketed, strategically targeted culture
Yeah.
about being thin and being better and being smarter and being quicker and being a better person for being smaller.
Yeah.
Like when you fight that all the time,
Yeah.
it's how do we know what we want?
And think about it, marketing certainly is a culprit of this, but it really starts even on the playground when you're in like elementary
But
school.
isn't marketing informing
Kids-
that experience?
Totally, that's what I'm saying. Marketing, so all of it, there's always some outlier that is forcing you or talking to you about your physical appearance. Like, I just remember kids in elementary school getting picked on because they were larger. And I was the guy, because I always, I always went for the underdog. I always felt like I needed to protect people. And I remember getting into this huge fight because this one girl was like making fun of this guy because he was big, and we got into this huge argument, and there was this big old thing. And I think that happens in every school, happens in every workplace, it happens everywhere. We're constantly being influenced by the marketing, but also by culture. And that's the thing that puts the constant pressure on
In
us.
that instance, when you were growing up, where do you think that bully, that girl who was making fun of the other guy, where do you think those beliefs came from? Like, what instilled that in her, you think?
I would imagine it could even be at home.
Like her parents
Yeah,
told
like
her
I'm
Who
sure.
are influenced by the market.
Who are influenced by the market.
That's why I think
Media,
it's literally
everything.
the market is generating
It's
the
constantly
whole vibe.
Yeah.
Well, this is why there's all that pressure on parents now, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to blame the parents no matter what they do.
Yeah.
So
mean-
there's also like entertainment and media, I
Yeah.
think. Like, there's probably stuff that you're seeing on TV that your parents aren't in control of too. Like, there's the
Oh
subliminal
yeah, especially with
part of it.
YouTube and
Yeah.
other social media.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But here's something interesting is that there's I've learned a lot from my sister-in-law. Anyway, there's a thing about men liking larger women, but not being able to admit it.
Yeah.
Really?
So it
Yes.
becomes this like seedy,
Under
fetishized
seedy,
thing.
like pornography, underground
Oh.
thing. But they are the trophy wife is this thin, beautiful person.
Huh.
But the men, there's a ton of men that actually like a larger woman.
I don't
Yeah.
know why that
Oh,
should
yeah.
be an underground thing.
It
That's
is
so
because
weird.
of the market's perception.
Because of the market's
Because
perception, yeah.
the
Well-
woman is supposed to be a certain way in the market. So what do we do as marketing? Like that sells.
And the
Do
thing
we
that
not
sucks
show that? If
is
it's
that a larger guy is seen as like successful. Oh,
Right.
he's larger. He must have money
mo-
because he eats and whatever. It's such a weird fucking thing in our
Well,
society.
it's because women are trophies, objects
Yeah.
to be purchased or
Absolutely.
be earned somehow.
Yep.
And if you don't have the newest model, who
Then-
are you? A
yeah,
lock
like-
dies with Will. Just this is a big issue for you.
Brad
Will.
Pitt walked in with like someone that was like 33 years old.
Who did?
Brad Pitt.
Oh.
He walked in some event with someone that's 33 years old. I'm like,
I thought he said Brett.
I did too.
I was like, really?
Brett, that's weird about our last conversation.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Well,
as
look
to
at
your
Leo
point, like,
DiCaprio. Leo DiCaprio
yeah.
has such a stigma for going after young women.
because youth is such a treasure.
And there's a
our
joke. As soon
world-
as they get 25, he like kicks him to the side
Okay,
and
but
goes
to bring
up.
it back to the point, he
Yeah.
does keep going out with younger women. But if he were to start going out with a fat younger woman, that would be a whole different narrative.
yeah, cool.
Like,
yeah.
that's a whole
Yeah.
different thing.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see how that would play
Yeah.
out.
But
So
someone
there's-
has to be the first mover, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't make a trend by everyone abiding by the old trend. You don't make a new trend. So who is the mover? Who's going to make the move?
Well,
Who's
the
going to be the
market
man
is-
that says, I like a full-figured woman?
Yeah.
And
They're
I don't.
out there.
They're
That's
out
already
there.
happening.
Oh, I see.
Where? Where do you see it? Like, what-
Larger.
No, I'm just saying,
They're
where's the
totally-
brand? Where's the movement? Where's the influence that you're seeing this?
Yeah,
I
on
do
a big
think the
picture.
market is shifting in the fact, and I think it's going to take a while to. Like
don't
I
think it's-
said,
you don't think it's
they
shifting
no
back,
longer
though?
call
I'm kind
them-
of resentful of this whole conversation because we're debating how men are going to pick women.
I know.
right now.
That's
No,
what
no,
I'm saying. The
no.
I'm
whole
like
thing is
icked
fucked
out
up.
by the whole fucking thing. I think it comes down to health and our vision of health and beauty, and I think that the beliefs about it are so like think about how many products on some base layer are marketing to you to make healthier choices, probably with the ultimate goal of being more beautiful.
Yeah.
And it goes so deep. Like we can talk about GLP-1s and that's so direct, or we can talk about supplements, or we can talk about essential oils, or we can talk about aromatherapy, or we can talk about
fasting.
Like there's all kinds of things that get sold to
plunging.
you.
But I do cold plunging.
And that's why
It
he's so
does
beautiful.
burn whatever that fat is. Yellow fat?
Brown fat.
Brown fat.
It burns brown fat.
And of course I know about
I
that.
do
Oh.
think that.
So go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on, Mary. I do think Tim has a point though that the market is too much of an influence, and I do think.
It's getting ready to close Mike something.
I do think the market is too much of it. I think we should cut ties with it. I think we should start doing our own thing.
I like what you said about men choosing. I think that's
Stop being.
needs
Well, it's
to-
just like that's a marketplace, and I'm
Yeah.
skeeved out by it.
right. But
Yeah.
okay, so if we get a project, let's say we get a project, and you choose the models in this project. Who's holding the food? Who's
I see.
holding in the product? Like,
Guys, girls,
what's
whoever.
your move?
Right.
Like, what? Who are you picking? What's the visual? Like, what's the? They call it aesthetic, and my daughter loves this word. It's so aesthetic. Is there a play? How long does it take to retrain a culture that is aesthetic?
Yeah.
How do you change
That obesity is aesthetic.
And that's what I was trying to say is that it is slowly changing. Like they no longer call models plus size.
Right.
That was a thing.
They haven't changed the tags in clothing yet, but they will soon. I'm
They
sure.
have it. Oh wow.
No, but I would
it's
say
like
that
still
since
the
Trump
plus
came
size
into
section.
Oh, interesting.
Since Trump came into office, people have been going crazy about fat girls in movies or in shows or in advertisements.
In a good way?
In a bad way.
The pendulum,
really?
it swings
Yeah,
back.
because
The
these
pendulum.
people that are so repressed from not being able to say things because it's politically correct, they're now trying to say everything.
But that's,
Oh, right,
but
of
isn't
course,
that? And
of course.
I'm always this guy who I'm like a little more conservative than I actually am happy to be. But I sympathize heavily because the feeling that you just told us about with
Yeah.
your children
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the same feeling that I think many people in this country have about like, well, I can't move without being criticized for how
Right,
I'm saying
right,
it.
yeah, yeah.
So I connect with that.
Too many
Like I want to let
criticism.
them off the hook a little bit.
No,
but also,
totally. Absolutely.
we gotta get this under control, guys.
I mean, but where do you draw the line? Like,
Yeah.
should everybody be going
No
around,
lines.
Should everybody be going around willfully shouting the N-word? Because I haven't been able to say it for
Yeah.
years. So like, how do you
That's
like?
what I'm saying.
That's
And so
yeah.
Because love and
But that's what they're
connection-
doing now. That's happening.
Really?
People, they're that
It's
woman
regressing
Shiloh,
there,
what's her
too.
name, who like called that little autistic boy the N-word because he was playing with the toys in her diaper bag, and she like came after him, and then because she got like canceled, she raised over $1 million. Because everybody else that felt like they should also be able to say the N-word were like, oh well, like I feel bad for her, so she raised a crap ton of money. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a really tricky place. I agree. I do think people should be able to say what they want, but I also think we need to be kind.
Yeah.
We still need to be kind. We shouldn't need to feel like it shouldn't be in us to say that I'm going to feel better if I can call that person a fat person.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
What if
fuck that, man.
What if the litmus test were something like, before I say anything, have I established enough rapport and connection with this person and helped them feel psychological safety around me so
Right.
that if I cross a line, they can tell me?
Right.
Can I speak with enough love and gentleness so that they hear my intent and they can help me?
And that's it. It is all about the intention.
Yeah.
You're not trying to hurt this person's
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
I do think when we get upset though, or if we're feeling really like riled up, like the woman you're describing, your like ability to self-monitor just like goes out the window a little bit. Like, I don't know, maybe not for everybody, but like self-awareness in that moment gets a lot harder. I'm somebody whose emotions come on really fast and I have to like slow the pace.
But I think you wouldn't say things that wouldn't be in your regular
Right.
vocabulary.
But if I'd been raised around people who used that word all the time and didn't think anything of it, even if I thought that was something bad, I do think there's probably something in the back of your head that like the word is still in there. Like one that I see a lot in my generation, a lot of people use the R word, retarded, and
I used to use it all
they
the time.
throw it around. And
Right.
like for my generation, no
Right.
longer cool, not an okay
same.
thing.
They use it all of the time in my generation, and
Yeah.
I also
But can you use it when you're
don't
not talking
think it's
about
cool.
people?
I don't know.
No.
I never know because I kind of like the word.
You can't use it even when you're talking about things. You can't say, "Oh man, don't." That's
I think a lot of people. Well,
Yeah,
the pendulum has swung. Yes,
The pendulum.
Yes,
I agree with you, Will.
we're there. We'll go to dinner. Like, I don't know. But I think that, it came into and out of fashion, and then it's coming back in again for all the same like trends that we're catching on to. I think when people use it synonymous with stupid or synonymous with, I don't know, there's probably a better word than stupid. But I don't think it's okay to use, and yet it gets baked into your brain, and I feel like it becomes a shortcut. Like another one that I watched come into and out of and probably back into fashion is gay.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Or
come back.
the F word. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Faggot is like in and out and in again. And I don't know how to cope with that necessarily, but I do think there's intention there. But there's also reclamation of the word that's happening. And that's happening across all three of those too, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I push back a little bit only because, and maybe I think it depends on the person. All those words are in there for me.
Sure.
And I can't think of a single scenario where I would lose my shit so much that any one of those words that I deem not appropriate would just slip
Yeah.
out.
I say the other F word.
I just don't see
Me
that.
too.
What'd you say?
I say the other F word.
Oh yeah.
I curse
say
like a sailor.
F word all the time.
Yeah.
But like, there's no scenario where I would use the R word or the N word or the C word or any of those. I know they
C.
exist. They don't ever. I never, like, no matter how mad I
Is the
get.
C word the one I'm thinking?
Even when there's
See you next Tuesday.
C.
even when it's the most ridiculous drivers
ABC,
on the
conversation.
planet, do I ever
Way
go,
out.
gosh, you freaking yada yada yada? Just
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's just more of I don't know. I think
You're just
maybe
better than the
I just
rest of
have to
us,
chalk
Reggie.
it up to people just having different
Arrogant.
levels of being able to deal with things.
To handle, and I think it's also a little bit like how fused have these two concepts become in your mind? Like people who use the word retarded and they mean stupid or ill-conceived
Right.
or, you could fill in the blank.
Right.
They don't see a difference between those two concepts. People who use the N-word have a bunch of stuff attached to it and they can't disconnect it.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, there are people who I think are really working to attribute new meaning into the word, and like by using it, they're sort of trying to pivot it in
If
a
they're
way.
changing its context.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
how I feel about-
stupid. It's more
Yeah.
like those shoes or whatever. And
Like,
it's-
I'm just gonna say, we're gonna click explicit on all of our episodes, so I'm gonna say it out loud. If you've got a kid in the car, now's a great time to mute this whole thing if you haven't already.
I never thought of that. That's a good thing to warn people.
Yeah.
You piqued
But-
my interest.
But I'm gonna say, like, is she a cunt or is she cunty?
Oh.
Yeah, because my friend group used cunty all the time.
Really? What
That's
is
a
it?
word?
I've
Yeah.
never heard that word.
I haven't either. This
We
is
just
a.
cunty.
queer
mean?
culture, baby.
Yeah.
Let's
What
do
is
a
it?
drag race viewing. No, that's political and uncomfortable.
Next
Is that
episode.
like the same as being a bitch or acting
What
bitchy?
does cunty mean?
I think
No?
it's different. It's a
No.
little more like, Will, maybe I don't.
Is it like the
I don't
Karen
wanna,
thing?
It's the Karen thing?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it probably was for a minute. I don't know. It's more just like, I think of it sort of like sassy and like self-fulfilling, like she's expressing herself fully and like
So
doesn't give a
that
fuck.
isn't-
What do you think it is?
That's an absolute.
Yeah.
Another word for diva.
Ooh, cunty.
No way, really?
Diva.
Talk about a reclamation of the word.
Nobody sees it that way but queer communities.
Wow.
But like that's how it's getting shifted.
That's
Do you think
interesting.
we'll like revamp the word obesity in that
Yes.
same way, or do you always think it's going to be negative comment?
Fat is being reclaimed. People are taking fat and like, well, yeah, I'm fat. And like, what do you want with that? I'm
I
fat
love
and
that.
sexy.
I love that spirit.
Yeah. So I think it's happening. The pushback is happening from within the group, but maybe we need like ambassadors to help
Maybe
speed
there
that
are
up.
little movements. Like it's cool to have a dad bod. That's like, and
But-
that's a reclamation of something
Sure.
that we would not have in the
Yeah.
past deemed, flattering. But now it's like people are leaning into
You
it.
have a dad bod and not you, but like maybe, I don't know.
I'm just gonna admit it right now.
Tim's like
a
just the
dad.
parts of me you can't see.
I just wear a bigger shirt. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think it's okay to have a dad bod, and you're just like with children, but we're like working on women getting their bodies back after shoving a child out of their body.
That's
What a ridiculous double standard.
Yeah, it's a
right?
stupid double standard.
Yeah.
It's a stupid
I will
double
say though that
standard.
John Hamm in Our Friends
All
and
Your Friends and
Neighbors, Your
Neighbors.
Friends and
Yeah.
Neighbors
Such a good
has
show.
a normal sized body.
He's a dad bod.
I love it. It makes
Yeah.
me feel so seen.
Yeah, because
I'm
he's
like, look at
not
this
like
guy. He's not
like,
like-
Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
He's
like
all
ripped.
cut and ripped. Yeah. I like it.
I was going to say, when you were talking about someone reclaiming the word fat, I just felt a mind shift in that person. Like, it wasn't something that was culturally shifted. It wasn't cool. It was just literally that person saw themselves.
Yeah.
And even when you try to restrict people from saying something, if they're saying it in their mind and acting in this way, it doesn't matter if they say it or don't say it.
Yeah.
They're still saying
They're
it.
still
You're just
saying-
separating
yeah.
them from your reality.
Exactly.
You're just
Yeah.
like forcing them further and further into this cognitive dissonance thing and probably making them much less mentally healthy.
Right, and sometimes I think when someone says it, it allows everyone to look around them and say, that person isn't safe.
Right.
And so I know social media culture will kind of congregate around the crazies,
yeah.
but in real worlds and real communities, people self-select and help to restrict the
Oh,
ones
yeah.
who are endangering the group.
Yeah, if they take it the wrong way and get
if
a bad
someone's
read.
acting conniving
Yeah.
and is trying to create harm,
Yeah.
you can't catch them. But
People
so sometimes I
totally
wonder if it's like, say it so we can see who you are and how you, okay, finally you're saying how you feel. And I'm saying this not having grown up in a minority culture or a minority group and not having been obese. So I'm saying this from a completely disconnected point, but I want to be able to connect with that experience of what's in someone's heart is going to come through. Now, I don't think everyone should say the N-word whenever they want. I just think that when you repress an entire culture and then they start creating this different twistedness about like, now I'm going to be the rebel and say it just to spite you saying I can't say it. It's like we
Which is
create
what's
this
happening
cycle
now, I
of
think.
disconnection again.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm asking you not to engage with me as a person about it, but to engage with the theory and what I'm dealing
Exactly.
with. And that's all valid, by the way. There's a lot of theory and there's a lot of shit to deal with, and it's sort of not my responsibility to educate you on all the problems in society. But also, if I want to be connected to you, which is not always the case, right? Like, we meet a lot of people every day where we don't make an effort to connect, and that's a question mark in my head. Like, if I really want to connect with you, I gotta just be like warts and all for a minute and be like, pretty warty, you're looking pretty full of warts. But then be
Right.
like, that bothers me.
Right.
Like, that really makes me feel X, Y, and Z. And I really think a lot of people, if they were met with that sort of cool-headedness, would be responsive. But it comes back to, how are you supposed to say that cool-headed when somebody throws the N-word out
Right.
or
Right, and when
throws the wrong word at you?
Right. My kids say, Dad, I want to be like you and be able to connect anything so strongly to the way you connect anything to digital devices. 'Cause they're like, I'm feeling tired lately. It's because you're spending too much time on your devices. I'm feeling like a little bit out of
You get
it.
to bring it
Because-
all
and
back
somehow
to-
everything they say comes back to it.
My mom would
But
just say, drink some water. Both are probably
That's
true.
so much simpler.
Yeah, well, I didn't do that either. So.
But I do wonder how much of this gets
Excuse me.
accelerated and exacerbated by the way that we are socializing, the channels that we're socializing in, and the way that connection feels or isn't even connected.
Yeah.
Because I think, Dylan, when you talk to your friends, you're having real conversation, and you and your friends are able to like go through it together. But if you were trying to connect online, it's a large change. There's something very missing in that experience, that human physical presence. And I wonder if now there's not a lot of places for kids to talk about these things, to experience to have the experience of being fat and being made fun of with anyone but themselves. Yeah. Like in the beauty show I brought up a few times, there is a girl who looks completely like better than whatever the standard of normal is. She's fine. But she feels so ugly that she wants to take this drug.
Yeah.
It's weird that it comes out at the same time this GLP thing is out, because
Or is it weird?
It's a similar kind of thing.
it's a genetic remodification of the body to make them their beauty. And
Interesting.
But you just see this person going through this thing by themselves, and I think that is impossible.
Yeah.
So what if we started having more like face-to-face, one-to-one discussions about health and could come to sort of our own understanding of what healthy means versus just taking what's delivered to us in culture or making assumptions about how someone else is living.
I will say that when you say, oh, go ahead, Dylan.
No, I was gonna say you cold plunge, he walks, we walk, we do our little things.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what I do to be healthy. I'll be honest.
I'm just working on my mental health
Like
right now.
that honestly feels like step number one, stress reduction, first move. But
I do think that I like how you bring it to health, because obesity is used in a lot of contexts where it's related to health. You know, like in a scale and a measurement, in a diagnosis.
well, maybe that's short-sighted, but to me it's like beauty, in theory, to begin with anyway, was tied to health. It's like you want to seem full of vitality, and young, because youth is health, is fewer issues in theory. So everything goes back to sex and like reproductive adequacy
aging.
and bullshit and age.
Aging. Imagine if we weren't always trying to be young.
I'm exhausted with it, so we might do that experiment this month. But
But to value the person aging versus, you can age,
Yeah.
and we're gonna throw you out into a nursing home, like, there's so much like body modification happening, like with plastic surgery and things, that it's so normal now.
well,
to
and it's
do
like
it.
it's your responsibility. You need to manage your health, because
Right.
if it goes wrong, I don't want to take care of you.
Right.
I don't want more of whatever unhealthy version of you out in the world. It's like a pushback against it. So I don't know if that's the root cause, but I do wonder if we're not having enough person-to-person connection about health, and we're trusting these like subject matter experts who are just working with statistics and talking about groups at a distance. The person who doesn't know your daughter, who's telling you what's healthy for your daughter and your relationship and that kind of thing.
Yep.
Like, I don't know.
I got one. What if we worried more about the inner body than the outer body?
My spleen.
I like that.
How's your spleen
My
doing?
spleen.
Is your spleen feeling good?
And I do care about your spleen.
But like,
I care about your
more
like,
of
you can
our
talk about your
character.
spleen with me.
Yeah.
Well, so much focus on the outer body. Like there's an inner body, an inner experience happening.
I heard this quote and it was like, it doesn't matter like how you look on the outside, or like you could have whatever, but if like the character's there, you literally have nothing. And it sounds so cheesy now that I said it out in public.
Tara brought. Oh, go ahead.
No, but I was thinking like when you were saying that, I was like, oh, like you have a soul.
Yeah.
Like, and I
Have a
think,
soul, right?
yeah, I think we were talking about the window quote where it's like looking through the window, that's just like transparency, but if you like open the window, let the person come in, like and see the soul and like see that like,
I remember that.
hey, like this is how I feel about like my personal whatever. I don't, to bring it back into like brand and everything, I just don't see a lot of brands like doing that. It's more of like, here's a product that makes the outside look good.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel that way about supplements as well. As like, hey, this is gonna make you on the outside, but like, I don't see a lot of
Still gotta take care of the
brands
inside.
offering like, hey, as a woman, you're gonna go through menopause. Hey, as a man, your testosterone's gonna start dropping, so that's why your body's gonna start, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think my what if is like, what if capitalism wasn't real?
I want to call dibs on that one.
We're gonna
Next
unpack
episode.
that.
Okay, next
Another
episode.
hour. Let's reset the
Can you
timer and
imagine?
start.
Oh my God.
Running it
Honestly,
back.
can't.
Dylan dropped the mic.
There's a metaphor that Tara Brock introduced to me, and I don't know if she came up with it or if she took it from somebody else. But I mean, can we steal concepts? That's on capitalism. IP should be free. But I think she gave me this metaphor that really, I don't know, I came back to it a lot, which is saying something. I'm very forgetful. She's like, yeah. Well, I sometimes talk about this as like the meat suit. Like I'm just wearing this around. Like I'm trying on this meat suit today.
meat suit.
But she talked about like an astronaut visiting some foreign planet or something. And if you're an astronaut and you're on a place that doesn't have the atmosphere that you can breathe naturally, you need your suit. The suit is an essential part of your ability to like move through the world. But you are not the suit.
Yeah.
And if you live in the suit long enough, you are so dependent on the suit, it might be easy to forget that you are not the suit. It starts to feel like it is you. But the reality is, you're in there. And like, it's just a spacesuit. And I feel like that applies to brands too. Like, you need the suit.
And
You
we-
gotta have the spacesuit.
yeah.
We get it. We understand. but you are not the suit. There's got to be something in there, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And the power of branding is now starting to trend where the inner being of the brand means more.
Well, we're figuring out how to look in
absolutely.
there. We're
And
figuring out that it's a spacesuit and that we can look past and there's another being inside
Right.
there.
Open
instead
the
of, like,
windows.
you know,
Connect.
if we met an alien and we were in these big puffy suits, how would they know that was a suit? They don't know. They're just meeting us for the first time.
Right.
So
Yeah,
like
they
we're
would
catching
look
wise.
at these weird
Way to go,
meat
Tara.
Yeah.
And if you're an astronaut looking for a meat suit that you're able to breathe through, this is the place to come.
yeah, give us a call.
If you're out there.
If you're out there,
If you're an
I'm
astronaut
sending it out.
and you're watching this podcast, please get in contact. We would love to have you on the show. That would be an incredible get.
Amazing.
My what if is, what if we could all just be kind enough to people that they could feel comfortable showing up in whatever meat suit they're wearing
Yeah.
without feeling the pressure of having to like shift or change,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
And do the real thing.
And I apologize to anyone out there who is struggling with this
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how much injustice we may have given this topic in our discussion. We want to be there for this experience that everyone is going through, and to open those windows in our work and in our lives and be kind and to try and create a better world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for those of you out there who aren't kind to people and you're listening, maybe consider just
Maybe
being
fuck
a little
you.
kinder.
Sorry, that's still
For a
perpetuating.
tooth over here.
No, you're
You've
gonna
already
make
said all the words.
that's gonna be their villain origin story. She
Truly.
said, "Fuck me," so I'm gonna go.
No, I
tell
just
everybody their.
I just know that we are not obese people, and we're talking about obesity. And I know that that's a touchy subject, and I just want to know that you're seen and you're valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're ill-informed in the best
mirror
of
that.
times. We probably just said a million things that are not correct. And I think there's a podcast I watched called My Favorite Murder. Shout out Karen and Georgia.
Oh, yeah, I know that
but
show.
yeah, you know them? We're true crime people. But they do this thing every so often. They do it less now. In the early days, they would have to do a lot of corrections corners at the beginning of the episode. So
You might have to do one of those.
if anybody even cares enough to give us your opinion, we would love to have it.
I would love
And-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially on some of the data that we
Dude.
And if anyone else out there and has something to share about this, what if we just redid this one with someone who
Dude.
knows?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh,
Speak
that
on
would
this
be
topic.
fantastic. Yeah,
I'd
I'd
be
down.
too.
I think this is the heaviest topic we've gotten into so far, and it's teaching me a lot about, how we want to navigate, and I think we're going to get a lot better at it moving
Can't
forward.
wait to see what we pull out next.
I've watched previous episodes. I'm like, we're definitely going to need to do some corrections corners. Thank you for watching. This has been Age the Podcast, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Oh man, that was tough. That was long. Thanks for listening. This podcast was created and developed by our hosts, Reggie Tidwell, Tim Scroggs, Mary Green, and Dylan Garcia. Produced by me, Mary Green. Live production and editing by Will Kennedy. Graphic design by Dylan Garcia. And set design by Megan Scroggs. Today's episode is presented lovingly by 40 Hearts, creators of enduring value.